Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. If you're new here, hey, my name is Brittany and I talk all things beauty here on my channel. And for today's video, I just got these two in the mail, so you know what that means. I will be doing a first impressions with the new Mcgrath Labs, Mothership Sublime Seduction, and Mothership Iconic Infatuation. So if you want to hear my thoughts on these palettes, then please stick around for today's video. I know this collection honestly wasn't well received by everybody, but these two palettes in particular, I was like, I'm intrigued. Okay, so first I want to show you Mothership Iconic Infatuation. This is a more pinky one right here. It's like a neutral with a hint of pink. I really do think it's such a beautiful color story. It's like soft romantic vibes. Let's see. And then this one is Mothership Sublime Seduction. And this is what the inside looks like. This is a very warm tone, bronzy goodness palette, I tell you. And I just wanted to know, right off the bat, I did notice that there are no Astral Blitz shades in here, whereas in her Bridgerton palettes, you will know that like this one has this super intense special shade, and then in the blue palette, you get a really pretty unique blue shade. So that is something I wanted to know, and I was a little upset because these retail for the same price at $65, and we're not getting that special unique shade from her. So I just wanted to let you all know, because that was something where I opened, I was like, huh, that's interesting. She also did release another one of these, and it was all matte, but I'm not paying the same price for an all matte palette, so I skipped on that one. So let's jump into these swatches. Here are the swatches for Iconic Infatuation. They all swatched very well. The mattes are very soft and creamy, and the shimmers were nice and smooth. And this one right here even has a little bit of sparkle to it. So here are the swatches for Sublime Seduction. Okay, so now that the swatches are done, let's jump into the look. I'm just going to do one look on each eye using each palette. And first I'm going to go in with, let's see, Iconic Infatuation and put this one over here. Mine came in broken and my shadows were falling out, so I need to glue them back in, so I'm like trying to be kind of careful with them. So my palette's very dirty. My shimmers were kind of like scratched up. But I'm just trying to roll with it, you know, it is what it is. And I'm just going to first pop in to this more neutrally shade right here and put that all in my crease. These mattes seriously swatched so well. But yeah, I'm kind of a little disappointed that I didn't see one of those special shades in here with super, like, a lot of intense sparkle. That blended out very nice. Now I'm going to go in with the deeper one. I'm just going to try to use every shade in the palette just to see how they work with one another. Oh, that is so pretty. You'll have to let me know if you got anything from this collection. I know that not everyone was too excited because unfortunately we saw some more repackaged items that were already in her line, and I'm just not a fan of the repackaging. But these two products in particular really caught my attention, and I wanted to give them a go. So beautiful. If you love a mauve pink, oh, and you like Mcgrath, this palette's so pretty. Hopefully yours just doesn't come in broke. I'm going in with the deepest shade now, just kind of building that up on the outer corner. I'm just going for a very simple look because I really want to see how the shades mesh with one another. And so far the mattes are very easy to work with and they blend into one another beautifully. I'm going to go back in with that first pink that I used and just go back in and kind of mesh them all together, and then we'll go in with the shimmer. So I zoomed in a little bit more because you were a little far away. Okay, I'm going to go in with this shade right here and put this all over the lid. It's kind of like a beautiful, soft, sparkly mauve pink, and just seeing how that applies. And it's looking like it's applying very well. I will say, if you picked up her holiday collection with the 5 pans from last year, these shimmers are not as sparkly, as soft of a formula as those. I just wanted to note that in case you were obsessed with that 5 pan formula. it's not going, the same formula is not in here. But I think that's very pretty. It's nothing special, but it's, you know, it did its job. Okay, now I'm going to go in with this shade right here and just put that on top. This one is more firmly pressed, but you still get a lot of pigment when you swatch it. I'm just going to layer that right on top of what we got going on. The inner corner, I'm going in with the typical soft champagne shade that she puts in every single palette. I'm just going to put that on the inner corner for a brighter appearance. On the lower lash line, I want to go in with this shade right here. It's just so perfect for my skin tone. And put that on the lower lash line. I already have mascara applied because I'm using the telescopic lift mascara. I know. Anyways, I'm not a big fan of it and it transfers all over my face. So in between blending, I'm having to kind of fix it. But I have to put it on before I do eyeshadow or else it will completely transfer all over my lids as well. So if you're wondering all the black stuff falling off, that is not the eyeshadow. That's my mascara. Okay, I'm just going to deepen it up with that dark shade in the outer corner. And then we will go on to the other eye. Okay, so now for this side, I'm going in with the more warmer tone palette. And this is Sublime Seduction. Honestly, I hesitated to get this, but I thought that just a very warm tone neutrally palette from Mcgrath would be kind of fun to have. But honestly, once I opened it and saw it, I was like, you know what, if you picked up the more neutral palette from the Star Wars collection with all like the bronzy tones, I don't think you need this because I feel like a lot of these tones are a little repetitive. Okay, I'm gonna go in kind of like the same thing I did over here. I'm gonna try to do the same kind of design, if you will, and we're gonna do that on the other eye. I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. And let's see how these will look on me. They're super warm and I'm super fair, so it might look a little odd at first. And then we'll just pop that all in the crease. I'm going to build it up just a little. Very, very pigmented. So let's see how she blends. It's blending out really easily. Okay, love that for me. Alright, now I'm going to go in with the little bit of a darker one right here. This is where things are about to get really orangey on me. And I'm just going to layer that. See how these blend. I'm liking them blended out. I was so nervous that it was going to be like too orangey. Like the Natasha Denona Bronze palette, like the midi size one. Whenever I use that, almost all my looks look super orange and coppery. And it doesn't look very flattering on me. But this one, it has a little bit... I don't know, it looks better on my skin tone than the bronze palette. I'm going to go in with this beautiful dark brown. This swatched like a dream, so I'm really curious to see how it applies. It's very soft. Ooh, that brown is so pretty. I feel like with this brown, you could really kind of make it more of like a neutral and not so orangey, like pumpkin-y vibes, you know? You can just kind of like neutralize it if you wanted it. Oh, it's so pretty. Like I said before, all that fallout on my face, it's not from the eyeshadow, it's from the mascara, so just ignore that. This is the last day I'm going to test it out because I'm absolutely done with it. I cannot handle the transfer anymore. On the lower lash line, I'm going to mix these two colors together. So first I'm going to go in with the lightest shade, which it's not too orangey, believe it or not. It's kind of like terracotta, but like not too orangey. See? Not too bad. I'm going with the darker brown and just deepen out the outer corner, and then we'll go in with the shimmer. For the shimmer, I want to go into this shade right here. It's the deepest bronzy tone, and see how that looks when you get it applied. Oh, it's so pretty. If you love bronzy tones, you're gonna love this palette. Like if you have medium skin tone, oh my gosh, this is gonna be like your perfect everyday palette. Okay, that shade is so beautiful. Alright, now I'm going to go in with this one right here. This shade is really firmly pressed, but this one's, it's not as firm as the other one. I'm just going to add this on top to kind of lighten it up just a little. Oh, it's so pretty. And then on the inner corner, I'm going to go in with the lightest shade that she adds right here in the corner of all of her palettes. I don't think it's necessary, but I guess it's good to have. I just have so many. I don't really need this one. I would prefer to see a different shade. And then I'm going to zoom you out and give you my thoughts on these palettes. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I really do like how both of these looks came out. I just love my neutrals. I love soft glam type of makeup, so both of these palettes are right up my alley. But let's jump into my thoughts on these two palettes. So first off, as far as the price point, it's right on par with the Bridgerton. Like, I just love this size and price point compared to Motherships because they're not as heavy, but they still feel very beautiful and luxurious. The one thing I did like, it was like, oh man, that you don't get an Astral Blitz in this one like you do the Bridgerton. So that, I was like, maybe the price point could have been a little bit cheaper since we're not getting like a super special shimmer shade. But as far as the formula goes, like the quality of the mattes, they are all so well. They're very soft, they're pigmented, but yet buildable, and they all work well with one another. So I really do enjoy that. I think that they performed amazing once I got them applied to the lids, and there's just something very unique about Pat McGrath mattes, how soft they are. So special. And as far as the shimmers go, they're fine. They're nothing to like blow your skirt up. It's nothing too exciting. But I think that the shimmers in both of these palettes are pretty. They're very soft. So I think these palettes are very nice for like work, you know, everyday stuff like that. You're not going to be like, oh, look at all my shimmer and glitter, you know. They're very subtle shimmers, but yet you could still build them up. So I think they do flatter. I think they're going to flatter a lot of different eyes because some people have textured lids and maybe it's going to enhance it, but these kind of shimmers don't. They're going to be very flattering all across the boards. But for me, I love my indie brand shimmers, so these shimmers just don't compete with indie brands. But if you are just loving that Pat McGrath formulation, you're going to find it in these two palettes. Honestly, it's a really great formula in both of these palettes. So do I recommend these to you all? If you are obsessed with like indie brands, no, I do not. I don't think you'll be satisfied. But if you are just like a Pat McGrath lover and you love her quality of mattes and shimmers, you will find the same quality in these two palettes. So I do recommend it to you if you love a very soft, buildable matte and a very beautiful, subtle shimmer. This palette would be for you. Also, if you just love soft glam vibes like this, nothing extravagant with color, then I would also recommend this palette to you just because of how soft and everyday these palettes can be. But if you love color, if you're wanting like hot pinks and like super intense shades, these are not going to be for you. You would not be honestly really happy with your purchase. These are just for someone who loves a very neutral, soft makeup. Then I think these palettes would be amazing for you. I honestly would say hold off because y'all know Pat McGrath loves her sales, so definitely don't buy these at full price. If you have to, I got these two for a bundle, and then I used like the code that she had. So these initially ended up being $50 a piece versus the $65, so I'm really happy with my purchase. As far as the packaging goes, y'all know I love this packaging. I wish, because there's another palette, so it's like a trio with mattes. I wish we would have seen like one white one, one pink one, and maybe one red one or some variation of that. So we're not buying all white palettes just because, you know, like the Bridgerton palettes, they're a little different. So I would have liked to see her have a little bit of fun with the color, but at the end of the day, the packaging is very pretty and I'm happy with my purchase. I just have to glue in a few of my shadows that are loose and that fell out during transit, but I am happy with my purchase. I did not buy any face products or anything. Just one critique I would have loved to see with this collection. I love the Bridgerton face palettes, and then I love this one that she did, I think, for like holiday one year. I wish that we would have seen, instead of like repackaged individual blush shades, I would have loved to see a Valentine's Day face palette with like new exclusive shades, blushes, and highlighter. I think that that would have been such a lovely addition to this collection, but that's just like my one critique. Also, going forward, I would love to see at least one special Astral Blitz shade in these, but other than that, I'm happy with my purchase, and I love these palettes. But that's going to do it for today's video. Please let me know down below, are you going to pick up these palettes? Are you skipping? Are you shopping your stash? I definitely didn't need them, but y'all know I had to have them. But anyways, please let me know. are you going to buy these palettes. If you are just like eyeing them from a distance, which one caught your eye? Because the matte one, I was like, why would I pay the same price for all matte shadows when there are no shimmers in there? Because shimmers are more expensive to create than mattes. So I was like, I'm just going to skip on that one. But I know that so many people are excited about that all matte palette. And if you have that, let me know how it performed, because these mattes in here are so good, like a very luxury formulation. But anyways, that's going to do it for today's video. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you're doing well. I hope that you are healthy, happy, and safe. Stay beautiful. Bye, guys.